issues. But yeah, overall, I am actually leading Liga based purely on draft. Of course, I would never go against Virtus.pro in this situation, but I prefer Liga's draft. Yeah.
You do? Okay. We'll see how it pans out, you know. Draft-wise, I do enjoy the VP, and you draft-wise, you like the Liga, so loser doesn't get to cast the next game.
Yeah, they have to use a text-to-voice module for the entire game.
I think I used that yesterday, to be fair, mate, so it's all good.
True. Liga. Very, very defensive here. But look at the wards placed down. That's pretty wild.
There's a lot of commitment to top side. And actually, look at the ward on that hill. That's a really cool hill. So basically, that's really cool because everyone places the sentry normally on the kind of the front of that tree. So pushing it to the top side of that, the sentry that you place will never see it. So to de-ward that, you actually need to throw a courier or vision on top. So that's a really cool ward. Thank you for showing that. That was nice. Good job. Good job.
Thanks.
Violent though. Has to disengage a little bit. I don't. I actually just. I kind of had like the energy of a post-team fight looking at a single ward. By the way, that was kind of. I gotta calm down.
Well, nothing was really happening anyway. I mean, okay, it's a cool ward in that it's probably not going to be de-warded, but also, why would you de-ward? Like, I don't know what it does.
It doesn't show the top rune, and it will show hero movements. I think in a Ember Storm matchup, the runes are always really important, and you can expect a Tide lane to be a little bit more free. Therefore, Rubik might also want to be able to leave the CK, right, if it's just a 1v1 duel. So it's kind of respecting the potential stagnant nature of top lane. If Tiny leaves and Rubik leaves, you kind of want to see what's happening, right? So I'm not opposed to it, but yeah, it could just be a ward that does nothing in the game. We will see.
See if it gets the value. We are results-based analysts. Well, you're an analyst.
The logic as well is when you're playing aggressive early on, right? Like you place that ward, you're looking for the bounty rune fight, right? And that is like the additional little bit of high ground vision that you need to potentially catch a hero off before the game starts. Sorry. So again, it's like there's a lot of layers to it, but at the moment, it kind of looks like it doesn't do much.
We'll see. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, I mean, it's most likely going to be a trade. Maybe the Storm can get a bit of an advantage with these annoying remnants, which can slide across, plus the ranged advantage. Squadix might start to struggle. We'll keep an eye on that one. Most, it's a Storm versus Storm matchup. Sorry, a Spirit versus Spirit matchup.
Yeah, Rebel's really have to, fight up against himself here to win this lane.
That's what every mid lane's about, to be honest with you. Can my mid laner hold it together long enough to get out the laning phase?
Often the answer is no, but yeah, the cream of the crop. They've shown that they can do it. They're pros.
Absolutely. As the bottom lane, 1J will be going down. May still be in that position and getting caught out because of it. But hopefully he adopts a proper gaming position after that death, as it is going to put Kiritich in a very, very nice position here on this Alchemist. Man, getting first blood in Alch. Ooh, pretty good. He's actually got Mixologist. Wow.
I was hoping you were going to bring this up. Like I feel like the logic for carry Alchemist, it's you either want 250 gold to buy a snap to maybe get that extra deny in lane in the first minute or two, or you just have the better facet for the entire game. Like cooldown reduction on your unstable concoction whilst you're in ultimate is so much better than here's 250 gold at the start of the game. Like, there's no scaling. It's just here's 250 gold and hope that, like, I can understand there is probably some maths where it's like if you start with 250 gold, you maybe start with like a stick, which allows you to play the lane better. You don't have to leave lane earlier in harder lanes. Like there might be a world where it works, but yeah, I don't think you ever take the gold over CDR in a lane where you're going to farm well.
The only argument I can make is some like kind of, it's not exponential, but growing your net worth in Dota is like a gradual thing which picks up more as time goes on.
For sure, yeah.
So it's
kind of what I was leaning towards and describing, but it's like the gold just isn't high enough for that to be
Radiance
strong.
or Battle Fury like maybe a minute faster than you start, your GPM increases faster. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I find it, I read that one and I was like, why would anybody pick this? Like, That feels so meh.
I mean, we saw the support outs at the start of the patch by Bottle for the mid laners, and yeah, there's some word for it to be some memes, but I think that is the type of facet where starting with 250 gold, QD bonuses.
PX might be a little bit dead here, but he does get away
FNG
under the
though.
tower with the wand, and it's actually FNG that goes down instead. 1J attacking very quickly on this Willow, and now trying to bring down Kiritich as well. The right click's coming through thick and fast, and well, Showdown comes down as well. Kiritich turning around with the stun, trying to get himself out of dodge, and he will be able to get himself to safety, so Kiritich lives for now.
And he's dropping some regen for FNG to bring. He's bringing, dropping the salve, and it should be back into the lane. It's kind of an interesting lane bottom, right? Like the Underlord shouldn't really be dying, so it's more on the positioning of the Willow. Can the Willow bait that engagement where the Alk see him chase? And if you do chase, then you're going to be hit by a root with the Firestorm, and there's plenty of damage either side. It really is just kind of who steps up first to take damage and get to a riskier point of HP in mid lane.
Yeah.
We're not really expecting anything special here. It is just Ember versus Storm. Both heroes can push out the lanes. Both heroes can punish each other if there is an overextension, but that's not been the case here between these two mid laners. They have just respected each other a lot, unlike the pauses where they keep spamming it and unspamming it, and there we go. The G's is shared and off they go.
Yeah, some like 5-second pauses going on, which, I mean, I'll take a 5-second pause over a 5-minute pause, but
no,
it's a little strange.
I'll take a 5-minute pause. Good memes. Well,
Love
FNG
a good
though.
podcast. Yeah, Squadix making the early counter rotation onto Rabel. Doesn't really achieve a whole lot, but, you know, keep the support safe. And this is what I was about to mention, is that this lane isn't really about the lane. It's more about the side lanes and how they play into them. But it's about the power runes as well. That's when we're going to see things come to life. Down at bottom, the fighting continues, and Onjay has won his lost his life already. Kiritich on the run, not going to survive through it. He will fall as well. So positive trade for Liga here for sure, as Kiritich does fall.
Oh, that's a cool toss into the camp.
Yeah, I love that.
And finally, I get to see an Underlord go for the cool facet, Demon's Reach, getting that cleave. Like, I understand that, like, pro tracker win rate show that the Horde is good with the summoning of the Necromonicons, but if your Fiend's Gate isn't netting kills and you're utilizing it, why would you not just get the free cleave? It doesn't matter. The Squad is killing off the Rubik.
On to Pantherman, they need a little bit more and they will find it. There comes that Sleight of Fist, and Onjay will not be able to do anything about this, although Rebel's coming across as well. They want to make sure they get this power rune, and they will be able to do it. Rebel picks up the Arcane, bottling it up, and leaving Squadix without anything. But luckily, he has an Ember Spirit. He's got a Remnant down, so back to the fountain we go, and we'll get the full refill for free.
Yeah, both teams, they are poking each other just a little bit, but trying to be as efficient as possible to get to the early items. I have a team, they have that ability to play out onto the map very explosively if they get the early lead. Ember, Storm, these are the two key heroes for either side, but yeah, I think they're both having pretty good games.
Yeah, definitely. Two most last hits in the game at the moment. Both of them have found a little bit of a success with their rotations. Squadix a little bit more.
Which is riveting stack.
It's a hard one to do. I struggle with it every time.
But you do? Oh no. I'm sorry, no man. Remember when stacking used to actually be hard because you didn't get notifications on what time to stack it? There wasn't the spawn boxes. Like when you wanted to deal with a camp, you had to go watch a guide on placing a sentry on the turtle to then hit the I kind of miss those days where it was a real art form.
It's not that, I mean, the timers still aren't super reliable anyway. Like, some of them are a bit weird.
Oh, yeah, but it's janky. It isn't good, but it's
the boxes.
better.
It's being able to see the boxes, which has made it so much easier. And I did like it. It was a bit silly. I remember I did have a print off. I wanted to get good at stacking, so I watched TI3 and was like, oh wow,
such wholesome.
Stacking's so strong. So I printed off the little sheet with all of the spawn boxes on it, so I knew exactly where to pull it from, and then it had all the numbers of when to stack. It's basically the same thing as what we have now, but
again, I think it is great for the game because majority of players need it, and it's just nice, and it doesn't need to be that hard to play for stack and stuff. But I do miss the the joy of going that extra little layer to understand this mechanic. And
yeah, it was like printing off the cheat codes for your Game Boy or whatever. Felt like the same thing.
Oh,
ooh. Thank you, ghosts.
You know, if that was like the Rubik standing there, he'd get hit by the roots. Like there was just like a core-to-core respect where he didn't get hit by the RNG or the root.
Squadix ain't giving up right now, though. South pops by Phantom as he sees his Ember Spirit approaching, and they will find Violent after all, but a little bit awkward here. This dude's tanky. He's just turning around and taking chunks out of the Ember Spirit. What's happening right now? Ember forced to run away from this one with the Illusion Rune still hanging around, but he's not really getting any help in for this one. I'm not sure what this play is, and has dragged his Tidehunter way out of position, which is going to allow Railbolt to come in and probably just scoop up a kill here on to poor old Noticed. Down he goes.
Yeah, it was quite the blunder there from VP. Like, especially when you don't hit the root initially, why are you chasing deep behind the tower? Because at this position, Storm obviously would want to TP. You have a Willow, there's a Rubik, even the Underlord can gate in as well. Like, to try and like disrespect your opponent that much to spend what, an additional like 10 seconds chasing the CK down, like there's no pro team that will never react to that. And yeah, they just didn't have the numbers. So yeah, VP getting a little bit too kind of big for their boots at the start of this game, and they have to sit back and just respect the fact they don't have the if they don't hit the spell, don't go for the kill. Simple as that.
Simple as that.
And everyone is just farming up. Like, look at Notice build as well. He's gone for the 0-2-4 build on the Tidehunter. It's like he knows his carry doesn't want to join the fight, so everyone's just farming stacks. Like Tide's farming stacks, Out's farming bottom, Underlord's farming stacks off screen, well technically on screen, but on the off screen, on screen.
Noticed. Look at him trying to body block the shield rune here, but 1J, he's got the tech to get the rune. I don't know how he did that. The Tidehunter was literally sitting on top of it, but somehow.
Well, that's Dota Labs for you. You can choose what your priority is.
Oh, cool.
You can choose if you want to hit an enemy, an ally, or whatever. It's just an additional button that you press whilst pressing the button. So, for example, like if you want to spam Yules on an ally, you can then hold your ally key with the Yules key. So then you never, or Wind Waker, sorry, for yours, but you get the point.
Yep.
It's very, very good.
Know about that. I'm going to have to go into my hotkeys and look into
Use Dota Labs. Many quality of life features are being implemented by Valve. Yeah, look at Dota Labs. Very, very good.
What an amazing and great company.
You can send feedback too in the client.
Yeah.
But use it wisely. Don't
only positive,
make them
guys.
delete it.
That's all it is.
Mid lane, also positive.
Queensgate to the middle lane. 1J is gone, but they're getting a return kill onto Antares by the looks of it. Taking a bit of time though with the toss back. Might have just saved his life. Squadix just running away, not really looking to save the Tiny. He is dead. As Noticed in on the side here. No Ravage available though. Gone for the full farming build, so won't really be able to help out with this one. Does now pick up the Ravage. He's was holding the point the whole time, but didn't see an opportunity to really save anybody there.
I'll be honest, I don't really understand VP's moves at the moment. Like, their heroes are playing to farm, but they're still trying to make the moves as if they're able to fight, right? Like, your Tide didn't have Ravage.
Strange, isn't it?
They're going mid. The Alk obviously is farming Radiance. And there's kind of like this disconnect, and coincidentally, they also do disconnect from the game at the same time when I say that. But it's like there's this... Like, we just saw how happy they were to farm jungle. Like, why wouldn't VP just sit back to 3-4 minutes, be the team that actually waits for Liga to maybe move to them? Because like Liga, they can never hit a tower. A Storm doesn't take tower, Seeker doesn't hit tower. If they do, Tide can TP in, and then you're the team in the better position. But instead, they're the ones chasing behind the tier 1 tower top, chasing into this mid engagement whilst multiple heroes can't really join them. And because of that, Liga, with the damage that they have in play, they are just capitalizing on kind of free kills, and it's not a lot of kills. We're not saying this is some like 10-12 kill lead, but it's still just a little bit awkward that I think BP are making a lot of mistakes that we probably wouldn't have seen them make months before. Like if this was a BB or a Spirit, they're not making these forced errors here. So yeah, BP have to clean up just a little bit.
And the question is why as well. Like, they're really well equipped to just kind of farm the game through. And you're not even going for damage on Squadix, which really suggests to me that they're just fully happy playing like a very defensive game. So, yeah, but like, why are you trying to make plays if Liga are happy to just let you farm and let you do your own thing, then accept it. But they're going to make the move down to the bottom side now. Liga looking for the prime turkey. It's going to be Kiritic is the target here. Move in on him. The TPs are coming, but they won't be here nearly quickly enough. He's already dead on the Alk. Phantom now gonna come in with the Avalanche and throw it up with the Terrorize. Just get them the space they need to get themselves out and stop themselves getting ravaged. VP, though, they're turning up to this one. They want to force this fight here. Moving forward onto Violent, tossing in the Crystal Maiden. Ravage to follow up as well. The Storm comes jumping on through. Violent still alive for the time being. Just fighting. Terrace is gone. Notice trying to run away on very little HP. Might just get away as the Ember Spirit dances around the fight, but Notice now gets noticed by Rebel, who is going to be able to eventually finish off his out of mana. Might not have the damage. In comes Willow as well, also trying to catch him out, but realizing that that might not be possible anymore. Chains out onto the Rubik, slow him down, meaning that they will not be able to get the Tidehunter kill, but still another big win for Liga there as they get the carry and then gifted a few extra supports on top of it.
I mean, VP are just getting outclassed right now. Like the moves VP make, they just run into a brick wall and fall apart. And then Liga, the move they want to make as a team, they find the Alchemist, they get the kill. VP then continue to want to try and take a fight into the area. Violent has just beautiful utilization of his armlet. Under the threat of multiple heroes, the Ravage, the CM, he's able to ensure he stays alive and he disengages. And yeah, VP just, what, three moves in a row now that are just losing moves, it feels like. And yeah, Liga just capitalizing on it really nicely. 2,000 gold lead, slowly working their way towards a confident mid game. And yeah, of course, VP still a lot of time is needed for them to feel good. The Alchemist, he just completed the Radiance. He is one component deep into the BKB, but Ember wants the Maelstrom like we see on screen. Alk wants the BKB. You know, Tide wants to hit that one Ravage. There's a lot of, I guess because of how awkward the start of the game is now for VP, it's like it's now just a lot of waiting, a lot of we need this before we can go aggressive. And for Liga, I expect them to keep wanting to poke, keep wanting to find that next pick-off, especially because the Storm Spirit has just completed his Witchblade.
It's a good timing for them. A lot of extra damage. Gives him the ability to basically solo kill a support now, which he wasn't really able to do before. Top side. Phantom, he just wants to farm waves. You have an AoE damage spell on Rubik, you shove waves. Very, very simple. And Terrace does see the Willow here. Willow, pretty chill for now. Has the support of the Storm Spirit to help him out, so... Yeah, I imagine we look for Maelstrom on the Ember. I imagine we look for probably the full pipe finished up on the Hunter. And then maybe we see some activity coming out from VP.
It just puts a smile on my face with Underlord with this facet. Like, if Underlord had the other facet, he just wouldn't be anywhere close to, like, pipe plus mech at this point. He'd have, like, cloak plus a mech, and then he'd be hoping for the pipe, so... Oh, it's nice. It is.
I'm glad we got to see it as well.
Yeah.
I've been worried we'd never get to see it, but... yeah, we get Demon's Reach, and it's looking pretty good.
Let me double check actually the win rates for Underlord on those facets. The issue is, Pro Tracker really doesn't do it justice. It's 42% win rate in 200 games, sorry. But then the other facet has 52% in 1,700 games.
Okay, well, there's a large difference in the amount of games, and yeah, I think a big factor of that is probably like a lot of people trying to play at carry, a lot of people playing offlane and being really greedy and not playing with the team. True. You know, it's one of those ones which is going to bait a lot of like dummies.
Too much cooking. Yeah. I see this facet as like it's like you play a normal Underlord, but you've just been gifted the ability to get to places quicker in regards to your itemization. So either way, Crystal Maiden will be going back to the fountain.
Bye-bye.
As they get deleted very quickly. So no, I'm really happy to see it. I think this is probably one of the few facet combinations where its win rate doesn't reflect how good it is for the hero, because I don't think people have respected it enough, or they've tried to overutilize it like you were mentioning with the whole carry and whatever. So yeah,
I think we figured it out.
Looking like a really, really good mid game now for Liga. If they can just play together, this Alk shouldn't really be able to have a big statement entry to the game, because of course Alchemist is only 1,000 gold ahead of the CK, and that is not what you want to see if you're an Alk player. Normally at this point you'd have what, 3-4k maybe, you'd have a whole item over your opponent, but with the blunders VP made, this game is going to be quite the challenge for them to get Alk into it.
Certainly is. And yeah, just to quickly revisit the facet thing, I feel like that's been a kind of a trend with like a lot of the facets, people kind of like over adjusting or like over valuing a facet, trying to change their whole build around it. Like I've seen Tinies go mid with like no points in tree grab, just starting with toss because they've got crash landing, and it's like,
yeah,
bro, like CS first. you still want to CS first.
Like facets like seasoning, you know, like you are the, you know, your hero is like the dish, and they're just kind of like they're complementing different aspects. You don't like turn everything into just that one thing.
You don't make a garlic roast, you know.
Yeah. Well, do a garlic crust. Oof, that does sound pretty good on it. I do like pork joint. I've got a slow cook that today.
You know,
making pulled pork today, Nomad.
Delicious.
Yeah,
probably.
Oh, yeah, I just realized. Yeah, you don't need.
I can respect a good meal when I see one.
Like, yeah, telling a vegetarian I'm having pulled pork. Ah, well, sorry, boss.
Don't worry about it. I grew up eating meat. It doesn't. I respect food. Sometimes I see a steak video on Instagram, and I'll be like, you know what? That's a good looking steak. Never gonna touch it, but
that's a good looking steak.
Violent does have the orchid now. They're moving in his direction, but I feel like VP.
He's well aware. Look at his
read
positioning.
Here.
I think the read feels like a twin gate to Roshan.
It's about to turn to daytime. I don't think they can take Roshan a minute.
True. It would be ambitious, but with Acid Spray, with the Gush, like they could technically have done it if they were really keen on trying, but
yeah.
Instead,
I think they were just trying to read the move, like dangling Heritage top just a little bit, knowing that they want to kill this Alchemist really badly, smoking him behind with the gate. It could have made sense. It didn't, but it could have. I mean, Pantherman is here. He's just obviously only him. And Kiritich now with the BKB, with the Blink Dagger. You know, he's very farmed, ready to fight. Sure, not quite as far ahead as we'd like to see an Alchemist, but still capable of doing some serious damage, especially if he finds the right entry to the fights. It really does come down to the start. Like, I think all these fights will be decided in the first 5 seconds. That's phew.
The game has slowed down because Liga is respecting the what if we overextend. Like a lot of VP's complications have been poor execution, but you can't utilize that to kind of be your strength, right? Like at some point you will get hit by a Ravage, or there will be a Blink initiation from Tiny, and I think for Stormthrower at least he's gone, okay guys, let me get my BKB and then we can like ramp up the aggression. Like CK as well, he's going for his Manta so that he can play on even more burst. When he pops his ultimate, pops the Manta, if he sees a hero, they are going to be dying with the abundance of damage that he'll be able to bring to the fight. So I think people maybe expected Liga to
Jesus. My God.
I don't know why, it's always just so satisfying every time.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't just die to that torment. He got shredded he put the bedlam on the CK. It's just 100 to 0 to him. Jesus.
Also the crit from the CK as well. It's like, and boom, get out of here.
You want your shard, you got to pay for your shard.
You got to earn it, yeah.
What are our supports up to? We've got a Blink Dagger and a Tiny. That's going to give them some pretty easy initiation. You're not going to have anything like that on the side of Liga, so potentially that will make starting fights a little bit easier for VP if you have this Tiny to jump in with like the toss back or something like this. If it goes wrong, it doesn't cost you your whole fight. You can just back away and be like, okay, whatever. On the other side, like Liga, you know, if they want to commit to a fight, the CK has to commit. The Storm has to go in. And that's going to cost you heroes if it does go wrong. But with an Aegis, that won't matter at all. And that is what they're looking for right now. Liga into the pit, looking to take the first big step forward in this game. VP completely unprepared to contest a Roshan fight. They will be giving it up here.
VP is not wanting to go near them at all, right? It's, I kind of also have a sense that VP, if they can survive this first Aegis from Liga, the turnaround potential could maybe come into play. Like at that point, you're going to be entertaining the blink on the Tide Hunter. You'll have maybe a BKB on the Ember. Like we are like AC on it, like Alchemist. Like there's at least a path to some itemization for VP to lean on for the fight. But again, it's for the heroes that they have, the aggression that you expect to see. Like the 15 to 20 minute mark was meant to be their times to take the Roshan, to get the kills, to break down Liga. But they are just going to keep skipping waves, and the net worth is even, but it's kind of, it's like a fake net worthy just because Alchemist is in the game, boosting up VP's economy.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay,
and
now the real question is, do you think CK is calling for his team to fight or wait for his BKB? Because Liga, they do have kind of like staggered timings, right? Where it's like we have the BKB on Storm, but now CK is kind of close to a BKB himself. It's like, at what point does Liga just say, hey, this is my game to play? Are you,
will it happen?
you uncomfortable?
Or
Or is it just me? I'm looking at this game and I'm like, I'm hoping for some aggression soon from Liga. It's like you had so much time, you've outplayed VP, you got your Aegis, you gotta go.
Heritage, blink away. BKB available. We'll just use it and TP out here, I would imagine. My imagination is correct as usual. All right, we got dangerously close to a fight there. Everybody, let's calm down, okay? Let's not get crazy with it. T, maybe we died and now we're in casting Purgatory, and that's what this game is.
I think so. We're not allowed to cast any hype fight. Oh, well, this is a pick-off, not a fight.
It's a support pick-off even. Core pick-offs, you know, okay, cool. That changes the game a bit. Support pick-off, eh. I mean, if they don't get anything done with his Aegis, I'm honestly going to be kind of both surprised and concerned. Because I don't think that Liga particularly do great in this game, and like when it gets to the super late game. That is where things will be heading. They're very strong right now. Squadix has very, very little. Noticed has even less. The only issue in this game is this Alchemist who you've just forced the BKB out of, and still, they're not forcing mid, they're not forcing top, they're not hunting for kills. They're just farming. They just want that cash money, yo. F&G has been in the trees for about half an hour now. He's going to finally TP out.
Okay, CK has to BKB. This is it.
This is the timing, and they're going to portal in. They found Kiritich. No BKB available. Their patience is rewarded as they will get on top of the Alchemist and kill the big boy on the side of VP. Well, brings him down. No more Alk, dead for 60 seconds. All of that net worth, all that 18,000 gold now completely gone, dead, off the map.
Let's be honest, VP have spent 25 minutes farming for nothing. They're kind of playing PvE the entire game. It's very lackluster coming into this game one. It's yeah, they're going to have to really find some kind of miracle play to kind of at least give us some confidence in their ability to win this one out, because they are just running around the map, chasing the jungle.
Yeah, Pantomime almost finds the Tide Hunter, tries to catch him out with the Unstable Concoction, but doesn't quite close the gap. And Noticed will just keep on farming. What have we got now?
This is peak Underlord, by the way. This is no like Amar Underlord. The Greaves, the Pipe, the Crimson. Two Aura boys going at it. You got Pipe on one side. Look, triple Aura for Underlord, one Aura for the... It's oh yes. You keep farming, Underlord.
No, not Aghanim Scepter. Boo. AC.
No.
Vlads.
Oh, come on. I know you want the Aura meme, but as soon as... If Underlord Ags, that makes me so happy again. The Cleave Facet makes me happy. Aghanims on Underlord makes me Facet. No, makes me happy. These are the two things on this hero that I think are instrumental in its ability to be competitive. Of course, the Aghanims increases the radius of Pit of Malice, therefore kind of taking over fights with multiple routes, especially when you have the 30% slow on your 15 talent. It is very hard to play into, especially when you have the Dark Willow as well. You're going to have the Pit of Malice as one route, the Bramble Maze as another route. Like, positioning and, you know, moving through the fight will be very difficult.
Bye-bye, Antares.
Yeah.
It's the tiny tax.
I don't think again, I've not really followed VP too much in qualifiers outside of when they get to events, right? Because of course the hype of it. But has this been potentially like the worst showing of VP in some time in regards to like their performance? The upper bracket of the 9 pandas. This is.
It's a tough game. We'll see if it's just a one-time thing or whether it's going to be a repeat of the 9 pandas series, because that's not a good way to end your year. I mean, they still have, I believe they're qualified to EWC, right? So
I will double check. I believe so. Yes, they did. They won that. Yeah. To get there, they beat Liga team. They beat Na'Vi twice. And they beat some other Open Qualifier team. Time
to channel a little bit of that magic in this game, because right now I'm not seeing the team that could qualify. But, you know, everybody has off days. Everybody has a couple of drop games here and there. It's about how well you can recover. I'm sure they've got it in them. We know they've got it in them.
For VP, the time that they spent farming, it's Kiritic. He's looking towards the Basher, and at that point, you've got to argue Alex probably farmed enough to really want to enter the game. He's sitting at a 2-3-0 scoreline. At no point has the Chemical Rage been a "this is my fight," and they're going to smoke up pre-Basher. They're hoping to find a pickoff, and they do not want to run into the Underlord. He, as much as he can die, the time taken to get through a pipe, Greaves, and a Crimson isn't going to really net you the best result.
Yeah, I'm just thinking though, is there any hero which they like can get through quickly enough before the Fiend's Gate comes through? I don't know if Burst is really in this draft's playbook. And a blink away from the Tiny doesn't go in onto Pantomime there.
I mean,
the whole team smoked up behind him, and he backs away.
They expect more.
Yeah. Wow.
That's not a
pretty
neutral.
Crazy lack of confidence.
Yeah.
Look at this. The whole team just smoked up to the top lane, and Pantomime just clears it. He just fade bolts it down. Super illegal. There's no one here. Like Violence down on the bottom side, Storms down on the bottom side. Obviously, they don't know that. Their map is very dark.
Exactly. We know that. When we look at the map, we see the positioning and how kind of greedy Liga is. They're but they're pushing out multiple lanes, they're farming the entire stuff. But the vision from VP, they've just started placing vision they actually don't even have any good wards up. They have one ward at the top tier 1 area for their own side of the map. They have 0 wards. Now they see the Underlord push out top wave. They're hoping to find it. They scan them as well. Can they kill him off in time?
It's not quick, but it might just be quick enough. The rest of the team not coming over. He's going to pop that Fiend's Gate just for the Pit of Malice, but they will be able to bring him down. BB3 is gone. VP, it takes them a while, but they finally convert on that move up to the top lane. Now, can they turn into anything more? They're looking to set up for the Roshan area here. Smoke up for the side of Liga. Still feeling pretty confident, it seems, to come and approach Virtus.pro. Of course, they have the buyback, but they don't have the Fiend's Gate available on the Underlords. This might be a misplay here from Liga if they're not careful. Let's see how they approach it. They find notice on the side.
Silver Edge.
Yeah, this could be a very dead CK. The damage coming on through along with the Reality Rift to hold him in place. And down goes your team fighter. Down goes Noticed. Over on the backside, they found Kiritic. He's going to BKB TP. He's gone. Well, the moment VP show a little bit of life, it is immediately stepped upon by Liga, smothering it out.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
They just don't have the items to kill off. Like, they killed the Underlord, and like, you could argue if Underlord was able to press pipe or Crimson before they jumped him, obviously not before, but maybe during the combo, then he could have survived and bought time to use the twin gate that he used. But VP can then after that go for another kill to keep trying. Yeah, it is relatively uncomfortable, especially with the CK getting the Silver Edge now to threaten the Tidehunter. I think if anything, Squad 1X, he's the hero that needs to find some more farm, right? Like, he's sitting at 1,600 net worth, or 16,000 net worth, sorry. Now, he just finished the Gleipnir, but if he has like a Shivas with the Gleipnir, with the Agnims, then we could start entertaining the idea of CK getting a little bit more punished in the fight. His illusion is not feeling as good, but yeah, so far VP, they show they can get a kill, but they can't take a team fight. And They just keep desperately trying to farm as much as possible. Again, the net worth not really looking as if Liga is crushing their game, but Alchemist inflating VP's economy. It's probably a bit more like to like a 13, 14k gold lead if you were to take out the boosted Alch economy.
Yeah, and you know, Alchemist
Tide actually going Midas.
Huh?
I mean, the Tide's about to get overtaken potentially by the Rubik, so I wouldn't be opposed to Notice going for a Midas. Like, this could easily be a game where he goes like Midas back for an Aghanims, then like a BKB, and he plays on Midas to get XP, Aghs to push out the high ground and defend the potential siege. Then you return to trying to be a hero, but yeah, at the moment he does not have a single drop of a game. As the next Roshan will be taken by Liga. Roshan screams in pain, but
yeah,
there is no way VP can get to the pit in time. And don't
I like
do
this
anything.
scan. Like, this is a very pub scan from VP. You know, just we know you're doing Roche. Like they're going to be doing Roche sometime soon. Can we do anything about it? No. Are we going to know about it when he screams anyway? Yes. Will it make a difference to anything? No. Should we scan anyway? Sure, why not? It's nice to see the circle turn red. You always feel like you've done a good scan. Oh, the courier usage to Midas the creep on the high ground here from Noticed. Really, mwah, chef's kiss Midas usage in here.
It's a pretty just spare setup.
Oh man, not the game I was expecting today. I'm not gonna lie, I saw this one on the casting sheet and I was like, all right, it's gonna be a quick 2-0 to start the day off, but yeah, no, Liga, I doubted them, and I'm being punished for it. Let's see. Kiritich jumping here onto the Storm. Storm, he's going to lose his Aegis. They will be able to take him down for the first time, but the rest of the team, they're coming on through. They want a bit of revenge. BKB not available from the Alchemist. He's feared up. He's in trouble. In comes the CK. Do they have the damage to kill him before he gets the TP off? They don't. He gets himself away. Big survive here for Kiritich. They take the Aegis and somehow get away with everybody. That is crazy here from VP.
So good little setup there. They get the quick pick, get the Aegis reset, and you did have to use the Aegis though, so it might give a window for Liga to go in. Yeah.
Jesus! Oh, and the BK usage as well.
But we haven't even talked about the fact that VP, they haven't really took a team fight with Ravage to talk about is Ravage down? Can Liga go aggressive? No Ravage. We saw the pick off on Storm, and now Liga for the first time in the game go, wait a second, they've used a team fight spell. Let's go punish them, and they get the Ember kill.
And Terra's
is trying to skip waves. Yeah,
this is an important catch. Catch that Rocky Rat, take him out, keep your waves alive, keep the push alive, keep the pressure onto Virtus.pro. No acupuncture allowed. No vouchers.
I think the tiny death kind of enables VP to do what they want, right? It's the force TP's back and CK keeps hunting, gets the Tide Hunter.
Jesus.
Yeah, you are just not tanky into CK. Like, Tide into CK matchup, Tide feels good for laning phase, early game momentum, but if you ever fall behind on net worth and CK gets to like Silver Edge +1, you are just food for him. You do not get to utilize Kraken in any shape or form, and yeah, Violet is showcasing how this matchup is a little bit volatile. Yeah, hindsight gonna be VP's friend after this game for sure. A lot of improvements need to be made once again as Liga now hit the tier 2 tower mid. 36 minutes into the game, 9,000 net worth lead. They are slowly but surely trying to close out this first game. Another smoke from VP. The Tide is still dead for 20. When he respawns them, he will have Ravage, but your base is falling so quickly. Where are they smoking to, VP? You've walked past your Tormentor, now you're running back to mid. It's
the Illusions alone are just going to be able to take the barracks by themselves. Like, no one's here to stop them. Finally, Squadix, and with the help of the CM, will be able to take them down and keep the melee barracks alive. But yeah, zero committal. Just grab that range Rex there for Liga, putting themselves in an advantageous position. VP moving up to the top side onto the Storm Spirit Storm. He does have a BKB and a gem available, so sneaking up on him, not going to be super easy, and converting on a kill even harder. this game has been a very, very one-sided affair. Oh, look at that. Berserker's Potion from the Rubik onto Violent here, as if he needed another buff.
Bottom tower has fallen.
Don't even know why the Alchemist has the Berserker's Potion, but there we go. Must have got it from Torment, I guess. Or maybe he did buy it just because he got the facet. Top side, and Terrors.
And Terra's dying in aggressive positions, VP farming. This is like the tail of the game.
Yeah,
I kind of want the
that's
highlight
from the
reel
tiny
after
I'm
this
going to
game.
complain about. Like, he's doing his job.
That's why I want the highlight package just be one tiny death. One. Oh wait, they're going for Storm. Maybe they're going to get Willow instead.
Okay, Onjay will fall. BKB available from Kiritich here if he feels the need to use it. And with BB3PX coming in on this one, it might be enough to trigger the TP. It is BKB, TP out. That's probably been like the third time we've seen this from Kiritich. But there's a fight going on. What? Squad X is just dead again. How?
I mean, Violet is just hunting down the entire map. As much as VP are trying their hardest to stay on the dire side, Violet is living in the Radiant jungle, utilizing the Silver Edge beautifully. Killed Ember twice, killed Tidehunter once. But there is, no wave is safe if CK's in the area.
He is so fat as well. I mean, 33k gold at 38 minutes into the game.
He's
got
the
himself
Alchemist now.
Jesus. He's laughing at the Alchemist.
Radiant's bottom tower.
There is not a lot which VP can do about this either. Like, if
You know you wanted the auras? Look at the Underlord next item. It is
let's
the
go. Stack them up.
Guys, if you want to be a pro player, you can just pick Underlord, right? You just buy 4 auras and an Axe.
Radiant's middle tower.
It can win you a game against VP.
Yeah. Someone asked me if you were to like have to stand in for a pro team, like what would you do to try and be useful, considering, you know, I'm me. I'm not very good. I feel like it'd be something like this, you know, just hit the jungle, get the auras, stand behind them, hope for the best.
You wish Wraithbat was still in the meta then, or in the game,
absolutely.
sorry. Yeah.
Tower is under
What's FNG's plan here? Waddling around.
Probably has a notepad out, planning the
Yeah.
draft for game 2.
You need to wait here 2 minutes for the Wisdom Rune.
I believe so, yes. This is what he did at the top, just sat in the trees. I think he hit like one wave maybe. He was just catching them with Crystal Novas as they walked past.
Do you know the meme where you have the guy's got the stick and he's poking the thing to do something? I feel like I need to say this. This is exactly what's happening. I'm just like poking VP. Hey, come on. Hey, do something.
Do something. Play game.
Play game, please. And the issue is that 40 minutes is not that easy to just simply play game. Obviously, this stems back to many, many minutes ago, but Squad X got to be careful.
Oh, that is. He had a safe remnant. Might still get
He
away from this one. He's
misclicked
got a BKB, so.
Well, jumping in.
Yeah, okay. A little too deep for Liga. Not back themselves out, but Kiritich, he's on him, and he's going to get the return kill. Now moving across to the Underlord. Violent is coming in from the side. A nice toss back, but also making it a little bit awkward here, as they can now turn around, and with the BKB down on the Alchemist, they can bring him down, no problems at all. 95 seconds with no Alch. He has the buyback. They'll take down Terrace instead. Deep in the base, they still haven't killed this Underlord. He's still alive. His auras are still going, and Terrace trying to mess with him now with the Avalanche with the toss. The buyback coming out from all 3 of the VP heroes. They're trying to turn this one around, but the roots, that's causing them so many issues. Without the BKBs, it's so hard to fight up into Violent. Down goes FNG. Noticed on the run as well. Has to back himself away. It's an ultra kill for Violent. My goodness. Look at Liga. All healthy. All absolutely fine. Like, sure, some of them missing health, but Violent, full HP in the front lines. Absolutely fine.
Yeah, when you're this far down, you cannot make the mistakes.
Oh, well, there's one of those mistakes. Squad X gets caught out again. Another death for the Ember. No buyback noticed as well. Gets crit, and there it is. GG comes out for game number 1, if you can call it a game. I don't really know. 41 seconds of Liga just beating the hell out of Virtus.pro. Scores them the first win in this lower bracket series. VP now 1 game from elimination here.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of improvements required for VP. No, we shall see.
I'm still trying to kind of get a read on it. You know, it's like very similar in a lot of ways, where you have that team fighting off laner, you have the mid laners, which are both spirit heroes, you have both carriers, which are very aggressive and can catch. So the difference really here is in the supports, I would say, where you have the Batrider and the Phoenix versus the Rubik and the Tiny. Still
like
kind of
Phoenix,
similar in some ways, but yeah.
Phoenix will become a raid boss in this game. That's the thing, right? It's like if VP overcome the Liga hurdle of CK getting man to Orchid, Ursa naturally want to find kills, like time will be VP's friend, because late game Ursa is really hard to kill in this game. The Darkseid doesn't really provide any value against it. The Phoenix as well, it's what, 4 melee heroes and a Rubik? Like this egg won't be dying. And then like Void Spirit, Brewmaster, these are so annoying when they get to multiple items. So I think lanes should be relatively even. Early game favoring Liga. Ultra late game, probably VP, but again, this Dota is such a complicated game that the journey there isn't as simple. So we will see what VP can do to poke down Liga to accelerate their timings. But
Yeah.
and like you said, the mid lane matchup, I think this will really bring either draft to life if a Void Spirit is able to take over a game. Same thing for us, for these heroes in the correct hands, in the correct momentum, can just ruin a game. And it's our observers. He just learned how to write.
No, that was me.
He wasn't very good at
on that
learning his
cringe.
H's yet. He's still going to improve on his H's. Again,
It was me.
oh, was it you? I thought it was our
Yeah.
observers. Oh, that's
No,
not cool.
no. They're
Okay,
way
no,
too
man, you don't
professional
know
for
how
that
it's
kind of
timed.
thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, that's a good point. I
I'll
was thinking,
work
as I
on
was
some
saying,
H's
there's
over
no
here.
way they would do that. Yeah, that's impossible.
I'm too busy observing.
sorry,
Look at
observers.
this. You've got the split cams to do. No time to write silly messages. Saying hi to you guys is never silly, don't you worry. The special little guys.
Say goodbye and just turn off the stream. That's a bad play.
Bottom side immediately stun out onto Noticed, but Terra's one flame break. And Violent's kind of struggling to trade up into Notice as these guys just kind of going at each other right now. It's a nice way to start the game, you know. Last game, they barely hit each other. This game are just immediately going in and just taking chunks out of each other. Already a new sign of life for Virtus.pro.
You want to make your mark in the lane and FNG it. Get
Toss
tossed
back.
up, but not the tower.
Yeah, Iron Shell also on the Tiny, not doing that much at level 1, so they will just have to back themselves away. Phoenix, Ursa, very, very strong lane. I mean, what's scarier than a bear? A bear on fire. Or a bear when you're on fire, more accurately.
I don't know if a bear on fire is actually that scary. 'Cause I think the bear has bigger problems to deal with. He's not going to be like, you know what? I'm also going to maul this lonely walker whilst I'm on fire, right? Like,
Disagree, because if the bear's on fire, then it's got something to be mad about. Bears are actually pretty chill, because they're like apex predators. They don't have much to worry about. They don't really see
Okay.
humans as prey, so if it's on fire, though, it's just going to be doing whatever, you know? It's very unpredictable.
okay, the final hunt. It knows its demise and it'll take me down with him just to spite me.
Yeah,
Good thing we got to this conclusion.
I think so. I think that sounds correct. I'm sure there's veterinarians in the chat who can back that up. I'm not sure a veterinarian has much experience with flaming bears either, but I don't know how much of a common occurrence that is. Heritage very aggressively farming under the tower here in the bottom side. Doesn't give a damn about Iron Shell at all. Does now have a
got
level
lifted
2 on
back.
the Dark Seer at least.
Always
Level
going to be
3, in fact.
careful. With Ruby and CK in the lane, if you're anywhere close to that tower, the lift into the Rarity Rift, and it can put you into a spot above, but not to be the case. Yet to see a first blood in the game. Most lanes, I'd argue, going relatively even. No crazy CSC. I think the only hero really losing out right now is probably the Brewmaster. He opted to go for a bit more of a bruising style of play onto the CK rather than the early CS, and whilst Darkseid naturally will always be able to farm up due to his Iron Shell and wave skipping potential. But quiet start. Eventually Hell will break loose.
I think
You need to
very
be
far
careful, yeah.
forward here. If they can catch him when he goes the Icarus. Oh, he can't. Even BB actually putting the point into vacuum there. He'd been holding it for a long time. but puts it into the vacuum to try and catch him out, but doesn't trigger it in time. So
Tiny was also level 1. If he had one more creep to his name, he would have been able to have that avalanche. And F&G really playing the limits there.
yeah, but because of this, BB3PX is actually already at level 4 on the Darkseer. Like, he's the same level as the mid lane. He's just been getting every wave solo. The amount of XP this Darkseer is getting is absolutely ridiculous. Down the bottom lane, the toss back onto Antares. The right clicks from Pantomime will need to be quick because Violent's in some trouble. The Verifier comes through, but the damage is in, and they will kill off the Batrider. That'll be your first blood going to Pantomime on the Rubik.
Oh, and F&G, he's getting chased down top. He doesn't have the dive. He's already used it. Vacuum.
Yeah, with the Iron Shell taking him down, FNG should be dropping here. And BB gets himself a kill to go along with his ridiculous amount of experience.
And he's got the good facet, not this movement thing. Make sure you utilize the attack speed from intelligence and violent. He will be dying bottom and
big kill.
Yeah, he didn't really have a lot of resources, right? Like after getting the kill, he was kind of staying on the edge. Their couriers hadn't come out yet, so an important death for VP to get, but also not the craziest one, right? But Liga doing a little bit of reset, and I gotta say, I do love the way that Liga played this top lane. Like really enabling the Darkseid, getting the levels. If you get to level 5 with 3 points Iron Shell, you don't really care too much about Ursa anymore. You just double Iron Shell, hold each other's hands. This Ursa can't chase you down, so they've really ensured that by minute 6, Darkseid should be able to hit these timings. And as a 6-minute mark,
the bottom side for FNG, but the TP rotation from the Tiny seemingly predicting this one.
Is under attack.
he's bringing the Iron Shell as well, so technically it's a 4-man gank.
Toss back onto the tower. That's very nice. Follow up with a Chaos Bolt as well. This is looking like a dead panda in my screen. And noticed will eventually be dropping, although the evasion doing God's work, but gonna be no more than that for him to stay alive. FNG very low as well. A couple more right clicks will be required. Doesn't have a Verifier, doesn't have a wand, does have a free trip to the base. Antares running through the trees, maybe looking for one more here. Very low on mana though on 1J, which is going to make it kind of difficult. Antares also going to pick up the Healing Lotus here, and he's actually turning around and going aggressively onto Pantomime with the Healing Lotus. Is going to be able to be absolutely fine. And for Pantomime, as in comes SquadX looking for a kill here. Not needed for the Rubik kill, but will be able to bring down the Tiny. And that is going to be 2 dead supports down in the bottom lane. A bit of revenge to be gained for the side of Virtus.pro.
Everything was looking so good for Liga until they overextended just a little bit there. If the Tiny had a drop of mana, then sure, it probably would be a different story. And SquadX, he identifies the time taken to try and kill off the Batrider, and he comes in and gets a nice little cleanup.
I think.
No, Rebel, he's bot lane as well.
Yeah.
That's where it's also going for the bot fight.
So one thing I noticed about that fight is that it all took place around the 6-minute mark. And I was trying to figure out like why there were so many supports bottom when we already had this conversation about how sufficient the side lanes are and how all the fighting is going to be at mid. And I feel like both teams made that read where both teams thought the supports were going to go to mid, which meant that they were going to be able to get a free kill on the side lanes. So they pass on the power rune and trade for a kill on the side lanes, which would be more valuable, assumedly.
Yeah.
But because they both made that read, it just turned into an absolute bloodbath down on the bottom side, which is really interesting.
Yeah, it's cool to see the kind of the mirroring moves there. And luckily for Liga, the rune that they gave away was only a shield rune, so it's not as if the Void Spirit was able to get like a amp damage rune or haste rune, because if he keeps that bottled, that will be another pick off coming down the line. And as we get to the 8-minute mark, I do expect Liga to bring some focus now towards mid, as you see Tiny and Rubik. Actually, all supports plus mid laners are now ready for this rune fight.
Here we go. This is what we signed up for. The brawl of the middle lane. It takes place with a pretty slow start. 1J's the one who picks up the haste rune, runs in round the back, finds a Phoenix. He knows who he wants, and he's going to get him. FNG to fall. A Rebel might be in some trouble, though. Nice jump in from SquadX. Interrupts a roll, putting him in a whole world of hurt. Rebel's going to go down. A great kill here from Virtus.pro, and they're looking for a second. Pantomime going for the TP out here and will be able to make it. No more cancels available from Virtus.pro. So it's just going to be a trade here, but one which massively favors VP, and they're getting a ton of damage on the tower at the same time as Tiny comes in to just try and land the toss, but he's just giving his life for this one. Fortify even coming out to make sure they can get this kill with ease, and 1J will be dropping for that toss.
Darks is about a year late to this engagement. He just rocks up at the very end of it like, I'm here, hello.
Don't worry, guys. I'm here to help out.
Of course, we already commented on the play style on the top lane, right? Tiny sacrificing his game to give Dark 0 lane. And now we're seeing kind of the repercussions where Tiny elsewhere on the map just doesn't have the resources to assist, right? He kind of rocks up, he gets a kill on Phoenix, fight extends, and that's about it. And I think Liga, they got to be careful where they not shut down the Bear, right? The Bear has 4,600 HP in the top lane. You compare that to CK, who's had to fight his way through the laning phase, 1,000 gold less now, and also can take over games. If he's uncontested with Battle Fury Blink, paired with the aggression of a Void Spirit, with the split of the Brew, it could be a scary mid game, and I think VP's done a pretty good job to ensure this could be the case. Rebel has been very quiet though in this game. Like the fight towards mid lane has kind of been his at least somewhat entry, but we've yet to see him TP to a side to punish a Brew for 4-6. He hasn't tried to chase down the Bear in the top side of the jungle to make him think about where he wants to farm. It's been a very, very quiet game from us for it that I didn't really expect as much, and it really does stem from the fact that Tiny just does not have the levels to be able to play up with the Spirit.
So we're gonna, well, mid lane once again. They'll go fishing and they'll go finding. Pantomime gets brought down, and Terra is able to close the gap there with the flame break to get on top of him with a flaming lasso. And yet another kill going to VP. This mid lane is being dominated by Virtus.pro at this point. Yeah, Rebel, what is your timing? I mean, he's going for that blade mail, so I imagine that's when we're going to really start see him turning up to the engagements. And this is really nice for Noticed as well on the Panda, who's kind of just chilling at the bottom side, going for the greedier build, and good start for him. Do you remember how much he was struggling earlier on, but due to all the distractions and all the fighting that's going on, he's been able to stabilize his game very well.
Yeah, I think Liga's perspective on the map now is going to be very kind of wide, right? So you want to gank Ursa at the top side of the map. You see Brew now farming on the bottom side of the map. Meanwhile, mid's not been very successful, and kind of that issue of where do we really want to make a play? Like, if you go for Ursa and he doesn't die, Brew will get to Radiance. If you go gank a Brew and maybe delay his Radiance, Ursa will have Battle Fury Blink. There isn't one move that feels good now for Liga. It really is the difference of mid, and it's why it's so important that your mids are able always to kind of mirror the pacing. Like, I look towards Void Spirit, I see kills, I see potential, and right now with this Earth Spirit, can he really kill a side lane? The Ursa can dispel the Magnetize, the Brew can split to get away from it. Like, this Earth Spirit doesn't have that pick-off potential that the Void Spirit's carrying. And it's probably why Liga does feel very uncomfortable. Both Darkseer and CK are very farming side lane heroes. We're gonna have to take a page out of VP's book a little bit, sit back and farm and wait for a very clear opportunity for them to enter this game. And that opportunity might be coming soon if they are to really force this objective top. They did show mid in a little bit of a conga line fashion, so if Ursa was to die here, he isn't looking at his minimap.
Yeah, Kiritich running himself away to the jungle. He's pinging warning signs into his own jungle as well, right where he is, so definitely seems to know something is up here. He's telling his team exactly that. Being very cautious, doesn't want to get caught out. Violent has the has the armlet finished. The FNG, Antares is TPing in. They're looking to defend this. They get the lasso out onto the Void Spirit. Very nicely done, but Rebel immediately jumping in and trying to help out with this one. Moving across to Kiritich. Kiritich, he's on the run, not getting brought down as they'll kill off the egg. VP losing their support. Now they need to leave. Antares going for the TP out. That's not going to happen though. Interrupted by Rebels. They'll move across towards the Ezra as well. He's gone as well. 3 heroes taken out on the side of Virtus.pro. Notice his pandas are just getting murdered one by one by one. Wants to get the kill onto Pantomime, but the stolen, the stolen primal split from Pantomime. Oh my goodness, they are getting their ankles broken and stepped upon here by Liga.
And the MVP of this fight, it isn't the top side, it's L1ga on his Tiny. He cancelled the TP of the Void Spirit. He also further baited out multiple jumps. So if Void Spirit's to die here, it's because of what Tiny was able to achieve here. But Squadix, he doesn't go down. And that's why the tip came in. like Void Spirit TP'd, it got cancelled. 1J was just toying with him the entire time. So incredible stuff from the Tiny to prevent the Void Spirit in top. Like maybe if Void Spirit was there, it's a completely different fight. We were already saying about the killer mentality that we're seeing from Void Spirit. So yeah, nice little bit of communication there to tell Liga like, hey, they're missing their mid lane. Go for the kill. Be ruthless. So 3,000 gold lead, nice stuff there, and it always because of the Tiny that has had a relatively quiet game due to his sacrificial plays, but he stepped up at the right time to give them everything they needed in this top engagement.
Huge stuff. The MVP of the fight wasn't even in the fight.
Amen. That's what every POS 5 player tells himself, by the way. It's like
this was me. I did this.
I died first. I tanked the spell. I got this. But if the Void Spirit died as well, oh, that would have been just like the icing on the cake for that play. But not
who knows how the fight would have gone if the Void Spirit did get into the engagement.
Entirely different.
Absolutely. Yeah, it looked like a great start for Virtus.pro, and Terra is getting a beautiful flame breakout onto the Darkseer, catching him out, stopping the team fight from Liga, but it just didn't matter. The number advantage was too much.
Now they're smoked up as 4.
They're feeling it now.
Who can they find?
A little bit suspect when the middle wave just gets fade bolted. It does seem like VP were paying attention.
Yeah, when the wave just disappears in front of you on the menu, I was like, wait a second.
Yep, Circle comes out from Squadix. He knows what's up. They've been notified. And look at this line of wards here on the minimap.
One of them just died. Incredible vision though.
Oh, one of them just died, whatever. It was that. Yeah, thank you, Observer.
Like, as long as they play up this top side, like these 2 wards are the wards that instantly get dewarded if they leave the area. So if they at least play kind of in like the fringe side of the dire map, then they will be able to utilize it quite nicely. And you look at the other side, right? VP have the same ward coverage on the enemy jungle. It's like they are very much mirroring each other's play.
Yeah. We've actually got 3 wards in the enemy jungle. In fact, it's very thorough for an area they're not really playing in a whole lot, but it does give them information all the same. Pantomime. His steel was about to run out, so he does just use the pandas to split up and farm. I respect a little bit. We have seen this before. I feel like you and me have cast a few games like this where Rubik's just like thrown out an ability because it was about to run out. And then they steal it again later and it's on cooldown. Only with ultimates, obviously, but...
What if it runs out? Now we know why.
Yep. Primal Split's a weird one, though. It's a bit different to most other ultimates where you're likely not going to be stealing it at the start of the fight. It's just something you may happen to get at the very end.
It is a novelty still.
Indeed. What's your favorite spell steal? Just in terms of memes.
Oh, for memes? Focus fire on Winrunner. Just seeing the Rubik at high speed going it's pretty hilarious.
Lasso up on the top lane. 1J's gone. Doing what a good Tiny must. And shoving waves. Almost gets out with the TP. It was close. But it does drop in the ender, though. Liga are looking for a little bit of revenge. Moving up here, smoked up, ready for some action.
They have the Orchid on CK. They see any hero, they will be dying. And Keratic, he's respected on the other side. He's rushing the BKB. He's not even looking towards the blink after Battle Fury. So there's Orchid timing. There's a very slim window where they can utilize it.
Well, Venteres is gone. I mean, big commitment just for the Batrider. Wall used, smoke revealed, Orchid revealed, but kill's a kill. Better than no kill. My favorite spell for Root, by the way, as you already know, as we've already seen, is Moonglaives. It's a fun one. I wonder if there's any more weird innates which or like weird abilities which turn into actives which you can then steal. Let us know, chat. What's your favorite Rubik ability to steal? The silliest one. This one's always a classic as well. Firefly, where he rides around on a broomstick. I just love that some guy's like, I'm animating this.
If you say global silence, then you've just proven what MMR you are, by the way. Just to put it out there. You've had enough time. Gonna put it out there.
Get him.
Got him, boys. Because that spell is literally impossible to still win any game above like 4 KMR.
Darkseer.
Twinja's carrying 4 blood grenades, by the way.
Oh my god.
He really wants that 200 HP.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Get the restock going, make sure that they're available.
Yeah, it's a reasonable amount of HP, I guess, and always nice to have them in the fights, regardless. What time in the game?
Watch out.
There is an angry bear here and an angry phoenix, and Pantoman's going to be the target of their anger. He's going to use himself up to buy himself a little bit of time. Nice back wall coming out onto the 3 of them. That means FNG's dead before he gets off the wall, and down goes Antares as well. Relville just coming in and tearing them up with the Darkseer. Moving on to Squadix now as well. They've got the Orchid out on him, and now the CK comes in to take him down. Triple kill for the Earth Spirit. Virtus.pro thought they were getting a sneaky snipe, but they were just getting destroyed. Out-read, out-maneuvered once again. This is just the story of the series.
I mean, they just wish they had some stuns, right? Like, the Darks is, like, next to the tier 1 tower. He gets to run away. The Rubik yules up, kind of kites out the fight. Then you hit the vac wall. There's no egg as he gets silenced up. The Void Spirit, if he doesn't connect on a stun, there is no other stun really in play. You can't rely on Brewmaster Pandas to be there. Kind of the pillar for your team fight. And, yeah, VP are feeling the repercussions of their draft a little bit. Liga, the confidence as well. Like, the Earthra has BKB. And we've already spoken about how little stuns they have. We mentioned Rebel not having a very crazy start to the game, but he's slowly been finding the farm, finding the pickoffs, and 6-1 and 2. He's a very substantial threat for VP. Like, for VP to win a fight, they need to utilize like the lasso next to an egg, and they're utilizing lasso, but it's only on the tiny. I feel like VP, the major kills that they've had in recent time has been multiple tiny kills.
It's a tiny tax. You pick tiny, you got to pay the tiny tax.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Now, though, they're setting up for Roshan, and with the Ursa in the area, this is a very real threat. They're coming over. Yeah, they're aware. They're moving over pretty quickly.
Yeah, they have no scan, so this is very much just a... Oh, they actually have a ward, so...
Smokes up as well.
They're going to be too late, though.
They're too late,
not
surely.
running over.
Roshan is dead already.
But they can fight after. We see this a lot from teams.
Yes.
Even if they get the Aegis, go straight away for the fight. They have the ward. They had the ward.
And a TP out. This is exactly what they wanted. They're not going to have a Batrider for this fight. They are split. They'll get the Phoenix. That should be about it. Although they're pinging noticed as well. They want to bring down the Brewmaster. Brewmaster, no split available for another 10 seconds. That's going to cause them a whole world of issues. Orchid not even needed to bring him down. It's going to be a double kill for the Chaos Knight. You might get Roshan, but we get the fight.
It's such a kind of new age version of Dota. Like before, when you lost Roshan, you're like, run away, get away. They got the Aegis, but now teams have so much more confidence to run to the pit, even if it is to fall. And something that we haven't really mentioned is Darkseer into Ursa doesn't feel too good, but Darkseer into Brewmaster, if you're able to take that Radiance burn from the Brewmaster illusion, throw it into the fight, post BKB from Ursa, like it's going to be quite a little bit of a nuisance. And something to consider. Aegis now on the Ursa for 4 minutes. We'll see if VP can utilize it. And in the team fight, they struggle. They just don't have to lock down the control to kill off the CK, to survive the Ursa at the moment. And I think they kind of want Ursa to have Blink Basher, probably. He just gets the Blink, but that is going to be when at least VP are their most confident. As they are smoked behind the bear, hoping to bait something out.
Yeah, and they go with the lasso. The fight is messy, and it does look like Rebel will be falling here. Virtus.pro are able to get one, but immediately Violent jumping onto the Ursa. The Aegis Ursa is an interesting target here for Violent. Without a BKB, though, they see the opportunity to kill him twice. Now the Orchid comes down onto the Brewmaster. He's in a whole world of trouble. No one's going to come and save him. Violent's going to take him down. And the toss back onto Squadix. He has got himself an Astral Step and a Manta. He's not going to be an easy kill by any means, as Violent chases forwards here, looking for a target. So aggressive on this CK. Ursa wants to punish Kiritich. He's angry about this, but he's going to be able to be angry whilst he dies. That said, they don't want to commit to the kill. Again, Aegis on the Ursa. Not really someone you want to jump here super badly as Antares jumps in, just trying to mess with them, trying to stop the escape. But the stolen Astral Spirit causing issues for the Void Spirit. He's got the Mantra, he's going to get it off, but it doesn't matter, he's dead anyway. How does he die there? That is crazy. The stuns, the damage, the harassment. It's too much for Squad X to handle. And they'll lose their Void Spirit and their Aegis. And the price, it's free.
Disconnect. There we go. But the Pantomime on this Rubik with the Aether Remnant still, he nearly caught the combination at the start when the tiny toss back, but it didn't clip on the Remnant, but just constantly spamming out the Remnants, constantly looking to chip down and find that catch with the stolen stun. It really just eventually netted so many kills for them. I say so many, it was a couple, but it felt like so many.
Yeah.
VP, it is just so awkward to watch VP fight, right? Like, they're not really fighting. It's just more surviving with the hope at some point Kiritich has enough Fury Swipe stacks to then get a kill. I think it's like you kill in Lasso with a 1+1 combo, or you just survive and then eventually whittle down your opponent in some way. Like the egg as well. Like the egg gets popped and everyone just walks away. It's like, all right, see ya. As much as an incredible Phoenix game due to the lack of egg killing potential, it's also a terrible Phoenix game because of his own team.
Quick Torment kill for Liga. I don't know, like Sunray always feels like it doesn't really feel very useful when you're against like really high burst lineups. CK just kills heroes way too quickly for a 6% heal or whatever it is to be any useful. I mean, he hasn't leveled it either, which kind of proves that FNG feels the same way as well. Don't know what the current particular build on Phoenix is, but going more in for the damage with the Dying Light, Blinding Sun, and trying to stack up that instead. But again, it's really hard to stack up those debuffs onto Violent, especially with the Manta and the Phantasm. Constantly purging everything off just makes him a pain in the ass to deal with.
If you're a BP fan, you are looking at Kiritich on screen right now, you are hoping he can get to like Basher Aghanims. When I said earlier that he wants Blink Basher, it's always the way. Like if Ursa isn't leading the game, it's okay, now he wants this item, okay, now he wants the next item, but eventually when he gets there, sure, he is gonna be a menace. He needs the Basher to lock onto a hero, he needs the Aghanims to survive the amount of damage that Liga now presents in the fight.
Yeah. With a Basher, you become a threat. All of a sudden, this Earth Spirit can be punished. BKB Earth Spirit, it's very difficult to get the lock on him, to actually catch him when he jumps in. Basher will make all the difference. But it's a lot of issues for you to deal with right now. You have to get so much done inside your BKB.
We have a little bit of smoke from VP. 3 heroes. Currently under cover of smoke.
Oh, that tower is low.
But the tier 1's still alive. It's 26 minutes. It's so hard to smoke like this. They're hoping to find the Rubik or someone, but Ego smoked up as well.
Kiritich didn't realize he just popped his smoke on the tower and now jump in, toss back, full stuff around, and Terrence is everywhere, and now he is dead. Kiritich is in onto Rebel. He needs to bring down this Earth Spirit. He needs to do it now, but he's not able to do so, and now the stun comes in from Violent. Enrage gonna have to be used. The heals are coming from the Phoenix, but it's just not doing enough. The stun is there, but all it does is delay the approach of Liga. It doesn't turn the fight for them, and VP will have to run away once again. Squad X trying to find the backlines with his amplified damage rune, unable to do that.
Okay, but a sign of a positive fight for VP. The egg didn't die. They punished Tiny, who jumped in quite early.
She's going to kill here as well.
Yeah, some cleanup kills as well. It's a lot of things had to go right for VP to win an engagement, and at least here it did present itself. And one thing's got to be careful. If he jumps in like that, forces the fight in that style, like the vacuum was pretty underwhelming. It hits 2 heroes, the Ursa's BKB'd. This is not going to be...
Oh, they're not just satisfied, they want more. They'll move forwards onto the Phoenix, but it's actually Violent who's getting ganked here. Kiritich on top of him, and Violent is dead. Virtus.pro, they're coming back. It took them a game and a half to find it, but finally they start to find a little bit of that momentum, a little bit of that VP magic. First real big mispositioning we've seen from Violent in this series as he stepped up too far down the lane.
Yeah,
Without that
BKB,
BKB
as well. Oof.
Yeah.
With the bash from Ursa, even if you have BKB, it's not a place to be. Kiritich is trying to do everything in his power to get his team to a game 3. And Squadix and the Void Spirit just completed the Aghanims. So we'll be able to cut to the back lines and to prevent that additional spell casting with the silence on his Resonant Pulse.
Yeah, I think this is a big deal as well. It's going to make life much harder for the Tiny. You know, Tiny's always that weird one where your initiation is so difficult. It's so high skill to start fights as Tiny. And now that pressure's even harder. Like, you have to blink toss immediately. Whoever you see, you have to get the blink toss back. It has to be instant. Otherwise, you're going to get silenced up by the Void Spirit. And then you're in a whole lot of hurt. He's going for the Yules to try and give himself like a second lease of life inside these fights. It's tricky. And Terez utilizing the ward vision. If he pops his smoke here, he's in an excellent spot to do so, but they found him, immediately getting the vision on that high ground, and they'll take down the Batrider. Ursa immediately, BKB in range, TP away. Kiritich is gone. Ooh, that was very close to being a disaster, but thankfully Kiritich very fast on the BKB, gets himself to safety, and they don't have the damage to bring him down, not within rage going off.
I hope you have the same feeling, by the way, but when someone's BKB TP'd in front of you, I have the innate desire to scream bash every single time.
Oh,
I
yeah.
really held back that time. I wanted to say bash, even though there's no way Liga can bash.
Also, when someone's bashing someone or like trying to bash someone or doesn't like, you know, with time lock or something, I always tell them it's turned off if they're not bashing it. I always get that, huh? Oh. Oh, finally you're being done. Ooh, noticed almost connecting on the Rubik there with the Cyclone. A little bit close for comfort. Game's getting very tense right now. Squadix running up into 3 heroes, but he's got a whole team behind him, and this might just be a tiny death, although it's a little bit of an awkward place to fight. Notice that is a very nice drag him down the low ground, but unfortunately there's just no follow-up right now. It's cute, but yeah, not really going to result in a whole lot. This shard from Notice is being very annoying as well, just using that Storm Panda and causing a whole load of issues for Liga. It's giving them a scout, it's giving them catch. This is looking pretty sick.
That was such a cool vacuum though. Like to go from like high ground to low ground, 3-man. You just wish there was like an avalanche or a roll or a magnetize or something to connect it. Would have been
I was like
the highlight fight of the qualifiers so far.
No.
I mean, I've never said vacuum before, but it
Was
took me by
nearly
surprise.
the vacuum, but yeah. I mean, definitely a sick play, but yeah, the follow-up just not there. But Roshan is respawning. This is the next big turning point in this game. Virtus.pro, they really need to get themselves over here and challenge this one. It's a what? That was like a very, very quick respawn. Rubbo. Yeah, I mean, this is just a rush going to the side of Liga. All spells available on the side of Virtus.pro. They don't want to contest. They want the Aghanim Scepter on their Ursa, I guess. Wow.
That's quite a bold play. This is the type of play that we might look to critique in the future, right? When you have everything available for VP, to not even think about the contest, but yeah, that's Liga now will take the Aegis and we'll see what they can do with it. The game is very, very even, and CK is quite an interesting carrier for the Aegis. Like if he gets his illusions out and dies, as long as the illusions survive, then sure he can utilize them again in that second life, but yeah, the game is very, very awkward at this point. Either team has the ability to take the fight. I'd argue VP still struggle. We cannot disregard the fact that they do lack the control. They do lack the ability to set up the perfect engagement, unlike Liga, where
I think
you have like 5 stuns.
there's 2 things that have made this game much easier for Virtus.pro, and it's the Ursa Aghanims and the Brewmaster Shard. It gives them so much information, where the Ursa can play up, not really be too worried about just getting 100-0 burst. He's always going to have that extra survivability. And the vision from this familiar of the Brewmaster, the companion, as well as the illusion clearing ability as well, is going to kind of help swing the vision game in their favor, deal with these illusions, which are just doing way too much on the map. It's something, but yeah, totally agreed that L1ga is in a... when it actually comes to clicking the spells and making heroes die, that just feels so much easier for this team.
Well, VP, they're smoked up. Look at them. Ooh. So close to the steps, but they walked the long way around. Neither team has scans, so they are doing this blind.
Phoenix might pop here. Yeah, Phoenix, he pops. He's going to know as heroes on the high ground here. Someone's farming this camp. That's the information which VP have right now. L1ga, I'm not sure they have anything, but they're going to go in. They go very, very deep here on the CK, and they will bring down Antares. Now looking over towards SquadX. SquadX, of course, has the Manta to get himself out should he need it. As Notice pops a Primal Split. They'll move on to the CK. Ursa trying to bring down Violent here. Violent needs to run himself away. He's got an Aegis, and he's going to lose his first life. BKB swapped in. Just use it here as Rebel. Take it to the front lines. They found the Ursa, but Ursa with the BKB just going to turn around and maul the Tiny. Tiny is not gone, though, as I'll jump in. Silence out onto everyone. The egg is there as well. They're going to try and protect it as Rebel tries to kill off, but won't be able to do so, and he's going to go down. Pantomime turns around, tries to help him out with the Sun Ray, but it's not going to do a thing. Rebel is gone, and SquadX gets a double kill, so move over towards FNG. Violent should get that kill on the side. Has the vision, has the damage, has the kill. SquadX falls as well. Pantomime brings it down. 4 dead on the side of VP. All that's left is the Brewmaster, and it's not looking great for him. The Panda is going to go extinct, and it's going to be a full 5-man team wipe for the side of L1ga. There it is.
And the Aegis just proved too difficult for VP to fight into. The CK, he's blinking in with absolutely no cares. He's using his illusion to kind of enable him to get deeper. Like, the fact that you pair the main hero with one illusion, it's kind of difficult. So is that the real one? Is it just 2 illusions scouting? He gets the Batrider. Sure, VP are on division, but again, they don't get to play close enough to the egg to really utilize it. Earthspirit's kind of cutting through. The Dark Soul is so patient in then setting up the 3-man back wall to further make VP feel very disjointed in the fight, and VP not contesting that previous Roshan, giving CK so much confidence. It allowed L1ga just free entry to the next engagement. They win the fight. They're hitting the tier 3s, most likely going to be taking a Rex here. And
this is wild.
I mean, this game. And
I don't know how Virtus.pro let them take that Roshan, and then we immediately see the effects of it in the fight. And ultimately what it comes down to is Violent just having the freedom to just run around the fights and clobber people. Like, spells are cool, yeah, like, you know, vacuum, wall, egg coming down, lasso, yeah, like, spells are great, but ultimately it doesn't contest to a farmed CK just going from hero to hero, mowing them all down, doing 9,000 damage in that fight. And that's the freedom which an Aegis gives you. Use the resources to kill him the first time, he just comes back and freedom. He grows his
draft
wings.
Is so obnoxious to deal with, because not only is CK killing heroes, Earthspirit is zoning them, Tiny's repositioning them, Rubik's also doing it, Dark's is dragging him around. Like, they've got so many different ways to have to punish your opponent on top of CK's damage, and we got a lasso.
He's very deep on Violent here, but Notice has just got clobbered down by Rebel and 1J.
That was the offlaner, by the way.
Yeah, that is your offlaner. No longer. Pantomime with the Aeon disc. I mean, he's just going to be able to live through this. And this is an egg used? What? Virtus.pro falling apart at the seams right now. Nothing going their way. Facing elimination here in game number 2 at the hands of L1ga. And they are falling apart. My goodness. I didn't expect this waking up today. Let me tell you.
They're drawing the line. They do not want to allow VP out of their base. Keep them penned in. Build up the lead. If you see a hero, just jump him. CK also went for the Octarine. He understands just he can actually just win this game by pressing Phantasm and Manta and letting them do the damage. Oh, he wants it. Oh, if Ursa had stepped up, that would have been potential chaos. Of course, he can press him rage, but still. Look at him. He wants it.
Oh, it's the hot tub kill. It's the hot tub fight. Silence is there. Stun doesn't connect. Kiritich gets a blink away. Violent maybe in an awkward position now.
Bash,
BKB,
bash,
Bash's going to be there, of course. You got the overpower, and now Violent tries to turn around, but he's just going to die.
Oh, okay.
You don't go for the hot tub, Platey. It's just bad manners to try and kill another man in a hot tub. We all know this.
Yeah, very true. That is the unwritten rule for any assassin out there, or any budding assassin.
Aspiring assassin.
What a wild play, by the way, for the CK. Like,
That
how
was crazy.
you're playing into an Agnim's Ursa. Like, is that what angle do you go for? Is that
I want to know if
for
the stun
CK?
connects, does it work?
You can just press enrage. You can just press enrage during disable.
Oh
He's
yeah,
chilling.
no, it doesn't work.
The whole point is like,
Can he kill him through 80% damage reduction and 50% state resistance?
yeah, this is the question, though, man. Is that the logic of too much confidence on a CK player, or the disrespect that Kiritich just won't press the button?
I think it's just someone trying to start a fight outside the base. You know, someone's clearly said, if we see them out the base, go for him. And
That's true. I was saying that's what they were doing. They were doing it, but I think CK could kill any hero.
And Terra is caught, catching a fantastic target here. Rebel's going to be that guy. He's got himself the Blade Mail and BKB available, but it's not going to matter. He just gets cut down regardless. Doesn't save you from the bear. And no buyback on him. You're absolutely right as they move in towards the Dark Seer as well. He's just going to be the +1. BB3 is gone. Oh dear. The game comes swinging back the other way.
Okay, VP just got the biggest lifeline possible. Yeah, no comment. Violent kind of putting his team into a spiral of potentially a game 3. Who knows? I don't want to get too carried away, but yeah,
well, it's certainly going to plateau. Like
this
this is now a game. This is now a completely winnable game for either team. The advantage is just dissipated in front of their eyes with Nakoa through the back of like 3 big misplayers. I mean, they still have that middle barracks, which is going to give them that map pressure, but yeah.
Roshan respawns in a minute 15. And you didn't actually need to use any buybacks. The issue is, look at your Earth Spirit. It's 40 minutes into the game. Super decisive moments, and your Earth Spirit doesn't have buyback. Due to him buying a basher. Yeah. I don't know how much I feel about that. Of course, Liga, they were in the position of choking out the map, obtaining 2,000-3,000 gold across their heroes, having no cares. The one death, now it like resets their entire logic for the game, and they'll have to go, wait a second, we need to farm buybacks. And of course, Earthrit with his basher, no buyback. This could be quite a decisive moment in the next fight, and of course,
but you know, if he
don't forget though, VP only are in this position because CK died by himself. Like in the 5-on-5, Liga should win every fight.
Yeah, kill that familiar. Get that companion. No pandas around here. Thank you very much. It is important to kill that though. It gives too much vision, too much info.
And Roshan's up in 12 seconds, and Liga, they aren't actually scouting it out right now. They're playing here, but they're not checking. They do want to take the fight first. Both teams are smoked. They're ready.
The illusion spotted. I mean, if they're checking the debuffs, they'll know the entire team is walking past it.
They're just going straight in.
Wow. Okay.
Roshan
it's got to be quick. It's got to be very
silence.
quick indeed. They're coming in on the side of VP. Roshan cries out, says, somebody please help me, goddammit. And then VP, they're coming through. They're going to try and go for the Tiny, but Tiny's got the Wind Waker, making it awkward. It's inside the pit. They've taken down the Aegis. 1J is dead for this, though. Now the VP follow up on this one. It looks like they want to, as Rebel will pick up the Refresher, and Kiritich immediately going on to Violent here, immediately looking for the CK. He's got no BKB because he's got the Aegis in, so he is going to end up dropping. And now, well, Rebel gets on top of FNG on the sidelines, takes him down, Refresher shot out. Now he has to come and save a CK. They have to get on top of this Ursa. Kiritich pops in range, turns around, starts blasting away at the CK. He's going to get Wind Wakered up by 1J to buy him the time. He needs to turn around and blow up the Ursa. Liga, they turn it around once again. The Aegis, it's everything they need and more. Notice he's going to yield himself up, but when he comes back to the earth, he is going to drop. The damage is in. The heroes are dead. 2 buybacks available inside of Virtus.pro. They don't have one on the Brewmaster. He doesn't have split for the same amount of time. He's dead anyway. Wow.
They just can't kill the CK with the team. I'll remind you that much. And,
Yeah.
you know, for VP, it's so difficult. Like Ursa, he can go toe for toe against the CK. He has all the damage reductions. He has the ability to brush off the toolkit of the CK. But if anyone comes to help the Ursa, that's when the Rift comes in, grabs that victim, that person who's trying to assist, and then they'll go down instead. And the entire time, VP's trying to skirt around the fight. They're trying not to get anywhere close to the CK. But the Ursa just can't do the damage. And with Octarine and Arcane Blink, repositioning is not a problem for Violent.
This is one of those really sad buybacks where you know you're not going to be able to convert on it. You know you're not going to be able to get any kills from it. You just have to do it to keep yourself from getting mega creeped.
Oh, Liga, the smoke back in.
I was worried about dewarding Ursa there. And then take it down. It's gone. Lazoa onto the Tiny. Is this the target you want? Well, it's a target they're going to have to settle for. Wind Waker off to the other side of the Ancient. Okay, let's buy him a little bit of time, but... No. No! No! How do you get away with that?
The flame break. The Batrider flame breaks and then the Void Spirit missed his remnant.
Oh no. Antares. Buddy.
Or technically, the Squad X and Antares.
Yeah.
That feels like the final nail in the coffin, right? Like even like your Ursa's buybacking just to keep the game alive, and then the Tiny support is like TPing behind the Ancient in front of your fountain. It's VP, they got a little bit of confidence because they killed off a CK by himself. They took that confidence, weren't able to contest an exploration, and Aegis has been instrumental in Liga's ability to win this game. The Roshan before this one gave them mid racks. This Roshan gave them bot racks, and I would expect Liga to have the ability to take the mega creeps without the need for another Roshan. But yeah, VP just not really respecting Roshan as much, especially when they have the Ursa on their team to give Liga all the abilities to take it away from them. Yeah, it has put them in such a difficult position.
No buyback available on the Ursa now for 6 minutes. That's
going
the
to be
key
a long
point
6
here.
minutes. A single death on Kiritich will send VP. Well, they're already kind of at home, so nowhere. They'll just be sending them nowhere.
It'll keep them at home.
They'll keep them at home, not at the international.
They'll go to the airport, but not to fly to Copenhagen. Instead to fly to a relaxing holiday. Maybe. Notice uses a Flame Panda for a bit. So, new one.
Yeah, he's been doing it to skip waves throughout the quiet portion of the game.
Thanks. Yeah, this is cool. You don't see Brewmasters playing with these companions so much. Not particularly favoured shard, or when you do get it from Tormentor, it can be very nice. Notice definitely finding a lot of value from it, using it better than most. VP just going to be sitting inside their base for the next 6 minutes. Actually, in fairness, make it 5 minutes now. They've survived the first minute. Well, the Ursa has no buyback. There's a small window where the Ursa not having buyback coincides with Roche. That may be what Liga is hoping for here, but they will be looking for opportunities. I'll be slow playing it, but in fairness, both their supports are still on cooldown for their own buybacks as well.
This stage, the VP are yet to retake a fight at the high ground.
Violent, they find him, and Terrace once again always getting them, and they're just going to be able to bring him down. No,
round 2.
I mean, yeah, once again, we see it happening. Tiny tried to go into save him with the Wind Waker, but he's not going to be in a whole world of hurt himself. He will die. 1J is gone. Squad X looking for more, looking for any targets. Won't be finding them, but that is a huge sigh of relief. Man, and Terrace time and time and time again on this Batrider.
Are we living like in some simulation? It's like Liga take Roshan, take Rax. Violent dies. VP then gets happy, makes move, they die. Liga takes Roshan, takes Rax. Violent dies. We're in the next round of it, okay? So VP at some point will go aggressive now that they got a kill. They will somehow die, and then Roshan will spawn a Liga will take it and get mega creeps. Just going to pre-warn you, that's the script of the game.
Most of the time, actually, it's just been Liga just walking into the pit and taking it, to be fair. They do just tend to do that.
True. For such an intensely like close game, like there really is kind of like on a nice edge. It's kind of just been the same thing happening, but either way, MKB now complete on the Ursa.
I mean, it does look like they saw him with this ward.
No, this ward was very, very good. It did catch him as he walked into behind it. So, and Terra's with that ward placement, providing VP another opportunity to cross the river potentially. But again, CK is up in 6 seconds, Tiny up in 24.
Yeah, they don't get to force the buyback. And keep in mind, Ursa still 2 minutes 30. The Ancient can fall in that time if he is to go down. So a little scary for VP to be this far out of base, but you don't get to TI by playing scared, Tigo.
That is true, but you do get it by buying defensive items. And Rubik and Tiny, we've mentioned it throughout the team fights, but they got such critical items to help them out. Because there's no nullifier in play for VP, the A on disc, has come in clutch now, and so to further think about this, Ursa won't simply be able to blink Abyss or support. Both of them are going to be able to get away from that. They smoked up as 5. Liga know they are 1 fight away from progressing through the lower bracket. Can they find the jump? And Terra's, he's out by himself, but under cover of nighttime, is able to retreat. If only he knew how close he was to death.
I know.
Roshan might respawn in 10 seconds. Quickly, Nomad, guess when it will respawn. I'm gonna go with 50 seconds.
I'm gonna go with 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
That's fair. And it is 1 minute 40.
Thank you.
3,
Thank you.
kinda.
So, any particularly huge item timings coming up? I mean, we have the Arcane Blink
Phoenix
on the CK. Refresher Phoenix, yeah. Yeah,
CK's had that for some time, but the refresher on the Phoenix is like the big one, I feel. Don't think there's anything else in regards to VP. They've actually nullifier on Void Spirit. So everything I just praised about the supports for Liga has now finally been punished. Took them about 50 minutes to get there, but
yeah. Manual Rebel
the tools
is almost at his own Abyssal Blade as well, so that's just another tool to use against the Ursa. Ideally, you want to force him to use the BKB and the Enrage at the same time. That's what Abyssal does for you. That's why he's been going for this item. It makes Kiritich's life very awkward indeed. It changes it from having to win the fight inside of a BKB plus Enrage duration, which is a pretty long time, to having to win it inside a BKB and Enrage duration, which is a very short time. Time and time again as well, these fights really have just come down to both carries just blasting each other. Kiritich, of course, being the Ursa, does tend to win it when it comes down to the one. Oh my god!
Look at the graph.
Jesus, I want to get off VP's wild ride.
No, this is the road to the international. It's full of potholes and bumpiness. We're yet to really get the collect the taxes to be able to actually properly pave our way there, but that is the joy of multiple rated teams. And
yeah,
Hex on Darkseer as well, something to keep a note for as we look at the items. The jump potential in Liga is so important. VP this time they're actually here for the Roshan.
They're here for the Roshan.
Fighting at the Roshan. The last two
Before the
Roshans
Aegis is down.
Yeah,
in theory.
Hold.
So first you need to get rid of those wards as Roshan starts to be taken. All the CK is going to work. FNG, he is nearby. They have a vision in the pit. The Roshan is getting so low. They need to hurry up. Virtus.pro, not again. Not again. The companion will reveal everything as Kiritich jumps in, but the Aegis, it goes to Violent once more, and he's just going to get dragged around by Antares. His first life is gone. Phantom jumping in. He's got the lasso, but he doesn't have the target. He's trying to find the Ursa, but the Ursa's all over the place right now. The Kiritich will get lassoed up in the end by Pantomim, allowing the CK to run through the fight, but he's getting blasted down right now. He's not going to be able to survive through this. Surrounded by the spirits, surrounded by the bears, surrounded by the pandas, getting tossed left, right, and center, and he's gone. Violent is dead. The Tiny's gone as well. VP, have they just won a fight? It seems like that might be the case. Liga trying to get themselves out. BB3's gone as well. Nice TPs out from them to try and save what they can.
They finally did it. It was a little bit spooky, but VP, they contested the Roshan. Like, the Aegis goes the way of CK, but CK, he used everything to take the Roshan down, to get the Aegis, but the kiting from VP was really exceptional. Constantly dragging the CK around, never allowing the CK to get off a Chaos Bolt, to get another illusion, to then maybe get a Reality Rift. It was just really beautiful control from the Void Spirit and the Brewmaster. And on top of that, the egg from FNG inside the pit, ensuring the fact that CK had to kind of disengage before thinking about the greater fight, and it took them so long to do it. The last two Roshans were comedically absent from VP, but this time it was at the forefront of their game plan. They punished Liga, and now with an 11k lead, they have so much confidence to try and do more, but they need to be careful. They were playing at Roshan. It was a really isolated area that brought most of their fight to life, and I think in the open kind of areas of the jungle, they will still struggle to deal with the amount of lockdown that they are kind of lacking, but still for VP, it is very commendable that they are in this position. You'd argue it's kind of on the back of Violent due to a couple of his deaths, but that's not to be entertained at the moment. We do not know who's going to be winning this one. I think VP just wish they got an Aegis themselves. At this point, I think net worth is somewhat like kind of, it doesn't really mean anything. Let's be real.
Yeah, no. Net worth is a fairy tale. Don't look at that. I mean, buyback status and key items is what we're interested in at the moment.
And luckily not fantasy points, because that does nothing.
New.
That's just tens across the board. Great game, guys. Great game.
Yeah, everyone's phenomenal. I don't know. I want to know, how does Violent deal with this Brewmaster now? Because that was his big problem in the last fight. The Brewlings just absolutely surrounding him, causing him such big issues, along with the egg going off on top. Like, this combination, it doesn't matter about the Ursa anymore. They can deal with the Chaos Knight without him, which is a scary, scary prospect.
It is about the jump. When CK's
Hex onto the Ursa. They're going for the big target here. The lasso out onto the Darkseer there. They're going to make the turnaround play, and Virtus.pro will be the winners off it. Who's catching whom? And 1J's not making it up that high ground either. He's got to toss the Ursa in. Well with the stun. And now the CK's upon him. Kiritich, he's in deep. He's trying to fight up into Violent right now. Violent's having to run himself away out of the base. Kiritich weirdly inside the base. He's going to get stunned up again. And this time he might just be dead. The damage is there. The kill comes in. Kiritich is gone. The displacement, it's too damn strong. And now the Yules comes out onto the Void Spirit as well. Squatting on the BKB to try and get himself away. It's going to be an Astral Step out and a TP out under cover of BKB. And that means he will be surviving. The Abyssal Blade does not find him. VP, once again, overconfident, caught out. Ursa cannot play the game like this. He's getting juggled like a baton and a juggler.
When they're diving into the tier 3, the egg on top of the tier 3, the Ursa's to the left-hand side of the Radiant base. There's no way Brew, Void Spirit, or Bat are going to join them in that position. It was, again, a very disjointed go from VP. Of course, it started because Liga threw the Darkseer into a fight, back walling, hexing an Ursa with no real follow-up here. Very, very nervous plays being made from both teams here. Liga, of course, going to be capitalizing on it, trading potentially a Darkseer buyback for the likes of an Ursa. Phoenix using his for now. They can use the air pan to put the illusions to half HP. Baiting as much as possible to try and get Liga to overextend. Good. But the discipline from Ursa not to buy back here.
This Aghanims from Noticed is like just ridiculous. Like, this entire concept of CK with the Octarine just feels useless. He's trying to spam the high ground with illusions, and this Aghanim set to pick up on Noticed, godlike. Like, it's just been so good all game.
Yeah, the balance of CK Brew is always complicated because like Brew can put CK illusions to half HP, but also you don't need the illusion to be full HP to do the damage. And it's like if the fight lasts a little bit longer than the burst of the moment, then yeah, Brew can do really well. So I think you've got to be careful that VP need to construct fights that last a little bit longer so that you see the full effect of the Brewmaster. Because in the when Liga gets the jump, it doesn't matter if there's a Brew into the mix. But luckily for VP, at least they have been able to, before that dive, show us some nice kiting.
Remember, this is Virtus.pro in a 57-minute long game, maybe heading towards tier 5 neutral items, with their TI hopes and dreams on the line. The road to TI. Are they going to fall off the wagon and be left by the roadside? Or are they going to live to get through to at least another game in this series? I don't know, man. I have no idea who's going to take this next fight. The fact that it's gotten to the point where both Kiritich and Violent can be made to just look like squishy sausages and get chewed up so easily is just... whew, it's anybody's game. See these this creep wave in the middle lane getting absolutely melted, and Liga will recognize that that is a smoke and get themselves away.
There's still a ward outside the Radiant base. I need to be careful of Time's gonna get shown in it. I just don't know how aggressive VP really wants to beat him. Like, for them to take a fight, they want to get a high ground ward, utilize the steps to get Liga to kind of clump up just a little bit. Of course, the fact that Darkseid doesn't have buyback.
Finally, tiny shard.
Very useful.
Yes. Yeah, both carries about to hit 6 slotted with no room to expand. I mean, CK's been there a little while, to be honest. Going for the nullifier. I imagine he swaps out the Octarine. I don't know how I feel about this Octarine anymore. It's just...
when I see all his items, that is the item that I can see just getting replaced. You could argue as well Lincoln's maybe, but if his positioning is very defensive, don't allow for the Batrider to find him.
Yeah,
but also Batrider has like the blink
scary.
4 stuff for enough time that... No, I could see Lincoln's getting swapped out if he really wants everything else to be on the line.
It's that time of the game. You can tell Squadix sitting on the high ground, making sure they're not going to be able to come to their own Ancients. And the first tier 5 neutral item is going to be
What are we going to get?
Oh, he's deciding. As is noticed. See, the problem is pro players don't see these items as much as pleb players, so...
Oh, Force stuff. Force Boots, sorry.
Force Boots.
Nice one for Brewmaster. I think Force Boots always is an exceptional choice. Getting
Agreed.
The...
oh my god, he's so fast.
Yeah, additional
when he's
movement,
brewed up. Jesus.
He can throw it on an ally as well, so very, very big fan. Also going for the Stygian Desolator. Therefore, if they ever get to the base, it's going to fall. Heroes are going to fall as well.
This brew looks so funny. Oh my god.
That's where the Giant's ring. He's going to be a big boy in the fight. Again, I feel like for Liga, it's a little bit more tankiness from their neutral items will enable them to not get the spook factor of the jumper burst.
God damn, that's a helicopter.
Helicopter.
Yeah, I'll get the rest off.
Going the way of,
the tier 5s. What have we got on the CK? He's still liking his feather for now.
Okay, just don't show all the items, okay? Because if Valve looks at this, then they're going to remove Philly Stone from the game, okay? Like, we're 61 minutes into the game, and there's like 4 heroes of tier 5s, and there's that one guy still holding the Philly Stone, okay? So please, let's not make this some, like, petition to remove the item, okay? I'm a support player. I want to keep it.
You guys have a good enough goal as it is.
Okay, fine.
Right, you guys started getting cocky the moment they made Observer Wards free.
Okay, just for the sanity of all support players, he now picks up a tier 5 and he does go for the Seer Stone. At some point you got to ask the question. I think Seer Stone is very, very important in this type of game where it's about the jump. I think
if
FNG will be very happy
Seer Stone, like holy, that would have been insane.
But luckily they at least
there's
have
a random gem in the pit.
Yeah, FNG just placed it there, so he can now see when Roshan spawns.
Violent
Kiritich.
Pirates hat, so it's going to be a pretty even fight as they toss back the Ursa. Kiritich in some trouble right now. He's got himself the BKB. The Force Boots being used by Notice to get him out of trouble. Rebel is chasing though. I mean, there's no BKB or Enrage on this Ursa at the moment. He's going to have it back very shortly, but they're going to try and punish this immediately, go back in and try and take down the Earth Spirit, and he will fall, but Kiritich is getting low in the process, but they're looking for more. They don't need their teddy bear anymore. They're strong without him. In they go, but the egg comes down, and Kiritich comes running back in. The absolute madman. It's going to cost him his life. He tries to save FNG. He loves his captain, but that love costs him dearly as Squadix goes down as well. They know they didn't have the buyback on the Phoenix. He decides that he has to try and do anything he can to keep that egg alive, and to be fair, if it went off, it would have been absolutely huge for Virtus.pro, but it doesn't. And now they're in an awkward situation indeed.
The first egg was a bold egg. He identified that the fight had already started. To reposition to kill it was pretty good. It was very central. But then to go for the second egg when the Ursa's already on the way out, it's potentially for VP a disengage would have been useful. But again, Liga just have so much damage, and
here we go. Roshan is up, but who cares at this point in the game? Going for the win, Liga. They want Virtus.pro out of these qualifiers. The buyback comes through from the Void Spirit, from the Ursa as well. There will be 4 men strong on the side of Virtus.pro. Can they keep the Mega Creeps away? Maybe. Big old tiny illusions.
Yeah, Liga just reset for Roshan, get themselves the Aegis and secure themselves this Game 2 victory. With no Phoenix in play for 50 seconds, if they can just get to the pit.
They need Roche now.
I mean, VP, they know it's up. The gem's still in the pit. The gem is screaming to VP like, guys, it's up. But of course, Ursa never really been in a position of taking Aegis this entire game, and nor would it be happening here. Violent goes into solo the Fine Beast. Roshan banner.
Yeah, he will die before night time as well.
Probably give the refresher to
Oh my god, Tiny's bigger than Roche.
Yeah, but Tiny's a big guy. So I'd say refresher to Darkseer for double hex, Aegis to Rebel, and the banner can just
who cares?
Exist.
I like the way they kept the gem there the whole time as well. Like, we want them to know. Send a message. Okay, refresher orb on Ursa. I was waiting for this one. I've been expecting it for a while. Giving you the double BKB, the double enrage is absolutely huge.
No
gold advantage as well.
Very late game Shadowblade, by the way, on the Void Spirit. There is a gem on Rubik, but at this stage of the game when everyone's so farmed, it's kind of valued to go back for invisibility. It's pretty hard to demand players have detection.
Finally, Pantomime will get the final tier 5 of the game, and it's going to be a Book of Shadows. That's a key one as well, especially versus Ursa. Keeping someone alive for 3 seconds, or 4 seconds, sorry, inside that Ursa jump is so key. He does have the refresher orb now as well on Kiritich, so still though, it's just another layer of things. God, these fights are going to be insane. Refreshers all over the place. We got tier 5 neutral items. Mirror shields all over the place.
AFK illusions in the mid lane.
Yeah, I mean, who's microing at this point, dude?
Just A-click down mid and see what happens. And Liga, though, they're smoked. Not A-clicking down mid.
Ooh,
maybe
I like this.
Down bot.
I like this.
There's the ward.
The illusion's given away.
It.
Okay.
Yep.
I thought some sneaky wrap around, you know, try and get Antares on the back lines. That's one of your big targets. Obviously, the Ursa is both the Ursa and the Void Spirit without buyback, so yeah, your main guys.
FNG's got to be careful. The fact that there's Nullifier on the CK, Aeondis will not save you. Just blink, Nullify, Bloodthorn. You are going to disappear from the map, from the qualifiers.
Again, in go the CK illusions. In comes the Storm guy. 1J trying to get the toss back. Doesn't quite work though. Squad commits to the fight as well. They've got a lasso out onto the Darcy, but he gets broken out of it by the book. But it doesn't matter. The S is upon him and he takes it down. Now, well, backing out on the side of Liga. They don't want to commit to a fight which goes this badly for them to start off with, but I'm not sure they have a choice because the CK is in and he gets the Void Spirit. Huge target to bring down. No buyback on this guy. The egg on the front lines. That is an obnoxious egg. Is this really going to go off? No, it doesn't. It's gone. It's dead. Kiritich now all by himself. They do have the 2 buybacks available. They're going to need to use it. The pressure on comes out. The enrage of the BKB is there, but he needs to do damage. He can't just run away, but he doesn't have a choice. He's forced all the way back into the fountain. Full Liga, 5 men strong, looking to finish off this game. Notice he's getting pummeled, chasing them all the way back into the fountain, and even diving in there as well. Violent, taking some heavy hits from that fountain. He needs to back himself away. They'll look over towards the Phoenix. The Phoenix is going to die. No buyback now, and it could be the end. They're looking for the tier 4s. What can you do? So he's got 1 enraged to work with here. That is all they have, and I don't think it's enough. The Ancient is exposed. The Batrider's going to fall. Buyback is there, but Kiritich, there's just nothing left in the tank. Violent needs to be the target here, and with the lasso coming down, they'll bring down the Darkseer. Maybe, even he's not going to fall, and the Ursa will die, and that should be that. GG gets called. Many Gs by 1J as well. Miss? Don't know what that means, but either way, huge win from Liga T.
Yeah, very